In today's hyper-connected world, our lives are increasingly lived online. Social media platforms such as Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and Twitter don't just serve as communication tools. They act as mirrors, stages, and canvases for our identities. But what happens when the digital mirror is distorted? This is the essence of the digital dilemma. Welcome back to another Broken Podcast. I'm Nick Taylor. Today we're going to dive into how social media has not only changed the way that we connect and share our lives with each other in the world, but also the toll in which it has cashed in on so many people's view of themselves, others, and the world in which we live. What started as a tool for connection has blossomed into a way of life for many, one that continues to develop and change daily in ways that we could never seen from the beginning. Every day, millions of users craft and share idealized versions of their lives. We filter our photos, choose only the most flattering moments, and present polished snapshots that rarely reflect the full complexity of our real lives. Research has shown that consistent exposure to these curated images can trigger unhealthy social comparisons. For instance, studies have found that individuals who compare themselves to these idealized online portrayals often experience lowered self-esteem and body dissatisfaction. The pressure to conform to the ideal Instagram face or match the lifestyles of influencers creates a chasm between our real and our online selves. Yet, amid the noise of carefully curated content, a growing body of research suggests that embracing authenticity on social media can be a powerful antidote. College students who express themselves authentically, share their unfiltered everyday experiences, reported better mental health outcomes, including reduced stress and enhanced life satisfaction. Authentic self-expression isn't about perfection. It's about recognizing and accepting our true selves, imperfections and all. This paradox between the allure of perfect digital persona and the well-being that comes from genuine self-expression is at the heart of our discussion. The impact of the digital juggling act goes far beyond superficial appearances. Excessive focus on self-presentation can lead to a cycle of anxiety, depression, and even feelings of isolation. Studies indicate that the more time young people spend on social media, particularly when they're fixated on garnering likes and positive feedback, the higher their risk is for experiencing negative mental health outcomes. This isn't just about feeling a little down. It's a serious public health issue that affects how adolescents and adults alike perceive themselves and navigate their daily lives. Understanding the digital dilemma is crucial because it touches on our fundamental need, the desire to belong and to be seen as authentic. As digital natives, the younger generations are growing up with social media as a constant presence, which shapes their self-concept from an early age. Our discussion today isn't merely academic, it's personal. It's about how each of us navigate this digital landscape in a way that preserves our mental health while still engaging meaningfully with the world around us. In this episode, we'll delve into the science behind this phenomena, share real-world stories, and explore strategies for reclaiming authenticity in an era dominated by digital performance. Social media platforms like Instagram and TikTok empower users to create idealized representations of themselves through photo editing, filters, and selective posting. Studies show that a higher percentage of women, up to 88%, and men, around 65%, routinely compare themselves to the idealistic images they see online. This constant exposure to meticulously curated visuals creates an environment where only the best moments are displayed, often masking everyday struggles. Over time, these idealized images set unattainable standards, triggering feelings of inadequacy and lowering self-esteem. The phenomenon isn't limited to professional influencers. Everyday users are caught in this cycle, often leading to body dissatisfaction and related mental health issues. Self-presentation on social media involves actively managing and curating one's online identity to gain approval from peers. This process can become a double-edged sword. On one hand, it allows for creative self-expression and can foster positive interactions when people present their authentic selves. On the other hand, when self-presentation becomes overly strategic, where users obsess over the number of likes, comments, or follows, it can result in a disconnect between one's true self and the image portrayed online. Research indicates that this discrepancy, sometimes referred to as inauthentic self-presentation, is linked to an increased anxiety, depression, and diminished well-being, particularly among adolescents and young adults. Social comparison theory explains how individuals evaluate themselves in relation to others. Social media intensifies this process by offering a constant stream of peer images and status updates. Users often engage in upward comparisons, measuring their lives against the seemingly perfect lives of others. This relentless comparison can exacerbate feelings of inferiority and self-doubt, contributing significantly to low self-esteem and body dissatisfaction. As one study on social media and self-images reveals, when users constantly see flawless images and curated content, they may begin to question their own worth and achievements, fostering a cycle of negative self-evaluation. The effects of curated self-presentation and social media comparison extends beyond surface-level dissatisfaction. They have been associated with deeper mental health issues such as anxiety, depression, and even disordered eating. The pressure to present a flawless image online not only compels users to engage in frequent photo editing and retouching, but also enforces a cycle of self-criticism when their real-life experiences fall short of digital ideals. Emerging research also indicates that the more attention individuals devote to their online persona, monitoring likes, comments, and follows, the more susceptible they become to experiencing mental distress. This phenomenon underscores the need to understand the balance and desire for digital validation with maintaining genuine self-esteem. While the curated nature of social media can have detrimental effects, there is growing evidence that authenticity can serve as a protective factor. Research suggests that when users embrace and express their true selves, rather than an idealized version, they experience higher life satisfaction and better mental health outcomes. Striking a balance between strategic self-presentation and genuine self-expression is essential. For many, this means critically engaging with social media content, recognizing that most images are filtered and selectively shared, and developing the confidence to be authentic online. The social dilemma really took off with my generation, the millennials. We grew up with the birth of home internet, the introduction to Google and search engines, and the evolution of what we know as today's social media. We were delving into MySpace and AOL as soon as they hit the market, which was the real start to the constant connection culture that we live in here and now. Especially since at the time we were still having to wait until night and weekends for free minutes and paying 10 cents per text. AIM and MySpace were the first doors that opened up to the social media world of today. We were constantly competing to be on each other's top 8, coding our pages so that they looked perfect, until Facebook started to dominate and build the new social media standard, alongside YouTube, giving us our first taste of sharing our lives further to the online community beyond photos. Fast forwarding to today, my generation has experienced not only the vast development of social media, but the constantly increased pace in which it evolves. Where we once saw trends and memes last for weeks and months, the lifespan of these pieces of online culture has shortened down to days or even hours. The pressure created by this fast pace has resulted in the need to consistently consume and stay connected in order to even attempt to be part of the digital space, and this intensifies if you are making any attempts to be successful at it. We've experienced an evolution of online perfectionism. Filters, which mainly started out as cutesy animal personas and bubbly cartoonish features, have evolved into creating flawless beauty standards and in some spaces have become so seamless that it's difficult to even identify them. As this evolution has occurred progressively, it has set a precedence of unrealistic standards of beauty, one that has spread from just images into short and long-form video content as well. These unobtainable standards have driven a wedge between what is seen in the mirror and what is picked up on camera, and have led to many mental health downfalls for people across the digital landscape. Speaking from my own experience, the digital culture has impacted me directly. Through a struggle with body dysmorphia, feeling inadequate in my achievements, and feeling the need to constantly perform to a standard, I feel the impact of the digital dilemma firsthand. My style and appearance has never aligned to what the male Instagram model portrays, and I can't afford, let alone uphold, a Pinterest perfect house. And although I don't fit into the boxes that social media has painted out to be success, I still have compared myself to those unrealistic standards in the past. I even still catch myself questioning what about me isn't good enough to become a successful content creator. Social media creates an environment ripe for constant social comparison. Users routinely measure themselves against curated, idealized images of others. Research indicates that such upward comparison often leads to a few things: increased anxiety and depression. Studies show that the heavy engagement in self presentation and comparison is linked with higher levels of anxiety and depressive symptoms. For example, adolescents who focus excessively on self presentation report significantly elevated symptoms of depression and anxiety compared to those who engage more authentically. Low self esteem and body dissatisfaction. Constant exposure to filtered images fosters a sense of inadequacy. Evidence suggests that even a single negative comparison can decrease one's self esteem, contributing to long term issues such as body dysmorphia and disordered eating. Now, not all outcomes of social media use are negative. Emerging research highlights that authenticity and self expression may protect against the detrimental effects of online comparison in ways such as greater life satisfaction. Studies from Nature and other sources indicate that users who present themselves authentically, even if their posts are less polished, tend to report higher life satisfaction and improved mood. There's also buffering against mental distress. When individuals are less preoccupied with the accumulating likes and more focused on sharing genuine experiences, they are less likely to experience the negative mental health effects of social comparison. In fact, authentic self-presentation has been linked with lower levels of depression and anxiety, suggesting that it can counterbalance the pressure to conform to idealistic images. How users interact with social media plays a crucial role in determining the impact it has on mental health. Actively posting, interacting, and sharing one's thoughts can foster a sense of connection and social support, thereby enhancing mental well-being. Conversely, simply scrolling through feeds without engagement often leads to increased feelings of isolation and envy, as users compare their behind the scenes with others' highlighted reels. Adolescents and young adults are especially susceptible to a few dynamics brought on by the digital dilemma. There's developmental sensitivity. This group is at a crucial stage in identity formation, making them particularly vulnerable to the pressures of social media. Studies indicate that the relationship between online self-presence and mental health issues is stronger among younger users, especially girls, due to the heightened social pressures and idealized gender norms. There are some long-term effects. Persistent exposure to idealized online images may contribute not only to immediate feelings of inadequacy, but also to chronic mental health challenges that extend into adulthood. Given these mixed impacts, the challenge lies in harnessing the positive while mitigating the negative. You need to have media literacy and do self-reflection, encouraging users to critically evaluate the content that they consume and to recognize that most online images are carefully curated can help reduce harmful comparisons. Sometimes we have to do some digital detox and balance the use. Periodically stepping back from social media, setting time limits, and engaging more in offline activities are practical strategies that can help preserve your mental health. We really need to promote authentic self-expression. Whether through mindful self-presentation or supportive online communities, emphasizing authenticity can serve as a protective shield against the pitfalls of online perfection. A critical first step in combating the negative effects of curated online personas is to develop media literacy. By learning to recognize that most images and posts are highly edited and selectively shared, users can begin to dismantle the illusion of perfection. Educational programs and workshops can empower adolescents and young adults to do a few things. Question the authenticity of online images and content. Understand the motivations behind strategic self-presentation. And recognizing that social media highlights are not an accurate portrayal of everyday life. Research has shown that when users critically engage with media content, they report lower levels of anxiety and depression linked to social comparison. Implementing structured routines around digital device use can also help mitigate negative impacts. Here's just a couple of the strategies. Set time limits. By limiting social media use, research indicates that reduced usage to 30 minutes per day can significantly improve mood and reduce feelings of loneliness. I know how hard it is, but it's something that will help. Digital detoxes. Regular breaks from social media help reset emotional response, giving users time to reconnect with offline experiences and relationships. Mindful engagement. Encouraging users to be conscious about when and why they log on can prevent mindless scrolling and reduce risks of overexposure and idealized images. Encouraging authenticity can serve as a powerful antidote to the pressure of curated perfectionism. Research suggests that individuals who share more genuine, unedited content experience greater life satisfaction, enhanced self-esteem, and reduce levels of depression and anxiety. For many, this means shifting the focus from accumulating likes and perfect images to expressing personal experiences and vulnerabilities. Supportive online communities that celebrate diverse and realistic representations of life can help foster this sense of authenticity. While social media offers opportunities for connection, it's essential to nurture real-life relationships. Here's just a couple of ways. Family and friend engagement. Encouraging face-to-face interaction can counterbalance the isolating effects of digital comparisons. Peer support groups. Whether in person or online, support groups focused on body positivity and mental well-being can provide validation and reduce feelings of loneliness. Community programs. Schools and community centers can offer programs that promote healthy self-image and mental health, creating spaces for open discussion about digital pressures. And if we look beyond individual strategies, there's some systemic changes that would make a crucial difference if we could just get them in place, like changing algorithm transparency. Social media platforms should modify their algorithms to prioritize content that promotes diversity and realistic self-images rather than perpetuating unattainable ideals. There should be some regulation of digital advertising, like having policies that require clear disclosure when images are digitally altered. That can help reduce unrealistic beauty standards. There should be public health initiatives that showcase a broad spectrum of body types and authentic lifestyles. That can shift social expectations and reduce the stigma around the imperfections. And I myself know that for some individuals that are already experiencing significant distress, professional intervention, it's invaluable. You can seek out cognitive behavioral therapy. It helps users identify and challenge distorted thoughts that arise from constant comparison, fostering a healthier self-concept. Mindfulness and self-comparison practices. These strategies can reduce the emotional toll of social media by promoting self-acceptance and reducing negative self-judgment. And by combining these strategies, improving media literacy, setting healthy digital boundaries, fostering authenticity, building strong offline relationships, and advocating for systemic changes, we can begin to transform the digital landscape into one that supports mental well-being. This multifaceted approach not only empowers individuals to counteract the pressures of curated online personas, but also promotes a broader cultural shift towards genuine self-expression and inclusivity. As digital technology evolves, so does the opportunity to redesign social media environments in a way that fosters well-being rather than undermining it. Innovative approaches, such as AI-powered tools that encourage users to engage with unfiltered, authentic content, are on the horizon. For example, recent studies have explored how algorithms can be tweaked to reduce the promotion of unrealistic beauty standards and instead highlight diverse and genuine self-expressions. Such innovations may include features that allow users to toggle between idealized and real-time views of their profiles, offering a balanced perspective on online self-presentation. The next generation of interventions must move beyond traditional therapeutic approaches by integrating digital literacy directly into educational curricula. By teaching young people to critically assess online content and understand the mechanics behind curated images, schools can empower adolescents to resist the pressures of constant comparison. Recent evidence suggests that media literacy interventions can significantly mitigate negative mental health outcomes by debunking the myth of perfection online. Future research and policies should support widespread implementation of these programs to build resilience from an early age. The future of digital well-being hinges on robust interdisciplinary collaboration. Mental health professionals, educators, tech developers, and policymakers need to work together to create guidelines that protect users while promoting healthy self-expression. Innovative partnerships between social media companies and mental health experts can lead to the development of features that detect signs of distress, such as excessive negative self-comparison, and prompt users to take a break or access supportive resources. Such measures, combined with transparent regulation of digital advertising and image manipulation, can shift the cultural norms of online self-presentation. A promising path forward lies in fostering a digital culture that values authenticity over perfection. Emerging trends show that users, particularly from Generation Z, are beginning to challenge traditional notions of beauty and success. Movements that celebrate imperfection, curate photo dumps instead of overly curated feeds, and promote body positivity are gaining traction. As research continues to demonstrate the mental health benefits of authentic self-expression, future initiatives should amplify these voices and support communities that prioritize inclusivity and genuine connection over superficial validation. Policymakers have a crucial role in ensuring that social media platforms are designed with users' mental health in mind. Future regulations can mandate clearer disclosures when images are digitally altered, promote diverse representations of beauty, and ensure that platforms provide resources for mental health support. Moreover, longitudinal research is needed to understand the long-term effects of digital self-presentation on mental health, particularly as new platforms emerge and cultural trends shift. Such research can inform targeted interventions and foster a digital landscape where well-being is at the forefront. We live in an era where connection is instant, yet loneliness runs deep, where curated perfection overshadows authenticity, and validation comes in likes instead of real conversations. The constant scroll fills our time, yet empties our minds, leaving us restless, comparing, consuming, always reaching for something just beyond our grasps. But the dilemma isn't just the technology itself, it's how we use it, how we let it shape our self-worth, our relationships, and our sense of reality. It's in the way that we trade presence for performance, depth for engagement, and moments of quiet for the endless hum of distraction. So what if we chose differently? What if we scrolled less and lived more, spoke more than we posted, measured life not by algorithms, but by the moments that actually matter? What if we reclaimed our attention, our time, our sense of self from the grip of a machine that was never designed to make us whole? It's not easy to unplug from the noise, to step away from the carefully constructed ideals we've built online. But in that space, in the quiet, we might just rediscover something real, something deeper than validation, something that can't be posted, measured, or monetized. Ourselves. There is so much more to you than what people see online, and even the parts of you that may feel chaotic and disorganized and not curated to what society wants to see, those parts of you are beautiful. The crazy thing about perfectionism is that the most beautiful things are imperfect. And if we can shift our focus back to that, back to the fact that individuality should be the real beauty standard. That's the systemic change that we need to make. In a lot of ways, social media has completely changed the way that people perceive their lives. And what gets seen through a screen can never be as beautiful as what can it be experienced in firsthand. And part of what makes that so beautiful is you. Thanks for listening to this episode of Another Broken Podcast. I always appreciate you giving me the time to be part of your life and your day. Like always, you can reach out to me on TikTok under the username Another Broken Dad or the account name at BrokenMedia1984. You can also reach out to us via email at brokenmedia1984@gmail.com or by commenting on this episode. Like always, I'd just love to hear from you. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and I look forward to seeing you again next Thursday. Remember that the authentic you is the most beautiful version of you. And that's the you that the world deserves to see. Have a good one, guys.